Hello, Internet. This is episode 26 of Confused in My Room. Yeah, I'm back. It's been quite a while. It's been a week. I think I'm gonna post this tomorrow or tonight, so probably it's been a week. I've been not busy at all, which made me very lazy and a little bit of down of a mood or something. Yeah, I was not really doing good mentally, so I started extremely doing stuff. I started writing a short film script, and I've been working out, and I'm right back after running, so I'm feeling very great. Moving and doing stuff actually makes you feel better, so yeah, what am I saying? Anyways, I'm back. I'm doing good. Don't worry. And today, I am so excited to talk about something. I watched Queer, guys. I watched Queer. Oh, before that, okay. I'm all over the place. Let me just think of the things I wanted to say. First of all, David Lynch, one of the greatest directors. I've loved his work and just such an incredible guy, has passed away. Yeah. He was not really doing good on his health-wise. Some news article was out there, he's kind of suffering from a lung issues because of smoking, and he talked about that a lot in some interviews or something. So but even though all that, it's quite sudden, I guess. I mean, all of the deaths, just the deaths is probably really all sudden, but extremely this one. I've never felt this sadness about someone passing away that I had no actual relationship with, but just he's such a unique I can't think of a good word to describe him, but he's just such a special person, not because of his work, obviously because of his work, but not only just that. When you get to see his interviews, or just those things he talks about and says, and how he treats people on set, all the behind the scene films and all the making films, when you get to see him, the humanity of the person that he is, he's such an incredible guy. He is so real, the realness of him. He's the one of the biggest person that influenced me in a way that you could just be you and do you as a person. And that is an incredible thing, that you don't have to act like you like things. You don't have to act like you know things. Just do it. Just do what you want to do. And just growing up as a kid, looking him saying out of context nonsense stuff, not in a bad way, but just really random stuff. I was kind of mesmerized about that guy, David Lynch. He's such a special person. Yeah. And all of his work extremely was just his work. No one could follow him or try to imitate him, because it's such a personal thing for him. He had this incredible vision of himself. And okay, not to get deep on this, but I just have to talk about him. He is such an incredible director. I talked about Mulholland Drive a lot of times. That film is amazing. And Blue Velvet, Inland Empire, just so many great movies. Elephant Man, Eraserhead, Wild at Heart. Just he's such a insanely creative person. And one of the biggest things, all the interviews I've seen him, the biggest thing that really stuck on me was how he talked about mental health. he was the reason why I got to think about mental health and creative works as like a very different way, because he once said that, like, I don't know what painter he was. Yeah, Van Gogh, when he wasn't mentally ill, he said, like, if he wasn't mentally ill, he would have made more stuff. Like, the mentally ill part isn't the part that made him a good artist. That, like, his painting was the only way for him to express and be himself, and made him kind of, feel better. But when he wasn't mentally ill, he could have done more stuff that he liked. Anyways, like, those kind of things that changed a lot of my perspective on art, I guess. Yeah, so back to the point. He was such a great director, and I think, like, how people cherish his work after, like, him passing away, and all the things the actors and the people who worked with or met him just saying about him, you can just know that how incredible of a person he was. Like, just not because he passed away that people are saying good things. Like, he was actually a wholesome person, which is so hard these days to find a man who's in, like, a great reputation, doing, like, a very high, working what am I saying, working as a high authority, because he's a big guy. To be in that position and being a wholesome guy, it's very rare to find these days, and he was one of those person who is awesome as a person and awesome as an artist. And so I loved him. He was a great director. And yeah, Twin Peaks, like, all those things he made, it's incredible to just think about it again and watch it again. So that has been really weird for me to think about it. Like, yeah, I think he was 78 or something. Anyways, rest in peace. Love him. He will rest in peace because he's such a great person. Anyways, I wish I met him. He's a really funny person too. Like, all those things he made by himself. And I'm gonna watch something that I recently find out. Like, he had an interview project, just interviewing people in his, like, area or something. And there's, like, 128 episodes on YouTube for free. So probably gonna watch that. And again, rest in peace, David Lynch, forever. Love him. Okay, let's move on. That was quite long. I watched The Substance again with my best friend, and this is my third time watching it. This time it was more sad. Yeah. I watched, like, the making film of the whole process, and I got to just see how they make every scene and every typical things in the movie. So that was really fun to kind of, like, matching it. Oh, this is how they shoot it, and this is how they made it, and this is how it came out. Like, that was fun, but I got to, like, focus on more of not the shock value and all that stuff, but just, like, actually being a woman who hates yourself because how you look, because how you aged, because how you weigh, because how the surroundings made you think you look and made you think you have to look this way, and just, like, yeah. So it was pretty sad. The shock value is really nothing to think about it. After, when you watch it, like, a few times, it's just, that's the part of the movie. But honestly, reality is more shocking than what's the movie's trying to say. And it's pretty straight up, like how they show it, all the things, but even though it's so straight up, people don't get it. Like, people use the audio and the concept of the movie for, and I don't want to like shame other people making some stuff, but like still, like, as something, like, you know, it's all about, the movie is just saying, like, looks, as the society, we have this insane way of looking and just being. Anyways, yeah, so that's it. I have like an episode about talking about this movie, so if you want to know more, go check that out. Today I wanted to talk about Queer, and it's already 10 minutes in. I didn't plan to make this episode quite long, but let's get it. Queer, directed by Luca Guadagnino, who made Call Me By Your Name, Challengers, Suspiria, Bones and All, I Am Love, and the show We Are Who We Are. Great works. I love him. I think he's like my favorite director today. Yeah. I've been thinking about some directors a lot these days, like Robert Eggers, Greta Gerwig, but anyways, right back to the point. I'm not gonna talk about other things. Luca Guadagnino's newest film, Queer, is based on a book by William S. Burroughs, and William S. Burroughs made the book based on himself, so it's pretty autobiographical. What do you call that? Like, autobiography. Yeah, it's pretty like autobiographical type of book. And I think I saw an interview that Guadagnino says he really always wanted to make this book as a movie, and he did. And first of all, what I want to say is this movie has the most beautiful looks, and that's like the biggest thing that was stuck in my mind. Like, every single scene of it looks like a painting, and just the costume, the set design, like every single thing was so smooth and beautiful. So that really stuck in me. But like the biggest thing that stuck in me is how it portrays loneliness, and definitely related about being queer and the loneliness of being queer. Yeah, so let's get more deep in it. There's a main character called Lee, and he is a very problematic guy. Not as like being, racist, homophobic, not that type, but he has a lot of problems inside of him. A lot of self-hate inside, a lot of addiction problems, and just every single movement and the act that he does, not the actor, but like the character, has this attitude of kind of playing something, not himself, which really was quite sad to look. And all that is because he has this weird different feeling of himself. I think it doesn't really exactly says in the movie, but you can just feel how everything he does, everything he shows is just the way that he can just express himself, that he's not really like feeling like himself in his body. I don't know, that I really felt like that watching it. And Daniel Craig playing the character was so incredible, just so incredible. He just was Lee. He was Lee. And anyways, Lee gets to fall in love with this young boy, not boy, but like a young guy called Alderton. I'm just gonna recheck it. Yeah, Eugene Alderton. I'm just gonna call him Eugene. And Eugene and Lee, I guess they fall in love. there's just like a lot of things going on, but they fall in love. But they both have this insanely kind of twisted things inside, which really kind of cage themselves by their emotions. But not Lee. Lee's pretty up forward about everything. He's really almost desperately in love with that guy, Eugene, and just it's a very surrealistic movie because it starts in a very just like a classical romantic, very sexual way of desiring and love and all that stuff, and it gets into a ayahuasca trip. They go to like a trip to find a way of a telepathic connection. Lee wants to do that. Like, he wants to just experience that. He wants to do ayahuasca. Yeah, that's what's up. Just he wants to do that to be telepathically connected. So he he just asked Eugene, "Do you want to go? I wish you can go with me." And they get to go to the trip together, and in some way that's very Carol in some way, but like you cannot compare them as of the feeling the movie gives, but like just the plot of it, like falling in love with a younger person and just like going into a trip, that plot really sums it up. But anyways, they go into that trip and they do ayahuasca, and okay, I'm just gonna tell it, guys. Spoiler alert. If you don't want to listen to this, I'll put a timestamp on the screen. You can just continue on that one. Anyways, they go to the ayahuasca trip and they do it. They do the drugs, and there's a scene where they kind of vomit their hearts out as a metaphor of getting to open up to each other in a very real, vulnerable way, which Lee always have been doing that, but not always. But he was more open about his feelings towards Eugene, but Eugene, that guy, had this weird, I don't know, just he really didn't like truly showed his emotion. It's a very situationship type of reaction of him from every single thing that Lee suggests or wants to do. So, but like at that moment, their hearts just comes out of their mouths, and there's like a sequence of them dancing together, and like a lot of symbolisms of using a very surrealistic thing happening, like snakes. All I can think of is snake. There's so many scenes, like a woman putting a syringe on her arm and like floating, and like a weird jail sequence. Anyways, there's so many scenes like that, but you just have to watch it. You just have to watch it, guys. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. Anyways, they like have that dance sequence, and it all goes like that, and like time flies, and it's 2 years later. We don't get to see what actually happened between Lee and Eugene, but just you can know that Eugene is on his own way. He's just disappeared in Lee's life, and Lee is alone. And there's the last scene is like him laying on his bed. I don't remember, it was like a hotel or his room. Anyways, his bed, and he just turns very old, and it's just really sad. Like, his whole thing is so sad. Like, over all the things happened in the movie, when you get to the last scene and him being alone in his room, all shrinked up and just like lying down, it's so sad. you can just feel his deep down loneliness after all the things he have done and just been the times that he's been with Eugene. Like, it's just all gone, and then it's him alone again in his room with all those things he felt, and he's again alone. And that was really fucking sad. So that scene really stuck with me. Yeah. And all the clips that him, Lee being like a little too silly, I guess, a little silly with Eugene, like him crushing on him and all that stuff. Like, it's funny. It is funny and a little cringy in a way because it's too much of a thing to do. But it's so real. Like, it is so honest and just expressing his just, he doesn't think. I mean, like, before he acts or do something, he just does it because he likes him. That was pretty impressive in a way. That was very, I don't know, I just felt really, really bad about the character. He had so many deep down problems within himself. And I really wanted to get to read the book. I've seen some video essays about, like, the book, about how the author had his life actually like that. Like, he actually had some problems within his family and his queerness and, like, just, like, sexuality and all that stuff. So that was something. I don't know what to say about it. You just have to watch it and feel it. It was honestly more sad than Call Me By Your Name for me, because in a sense of more realistic of a way the film can make you feel is, what am I saying? I mean, I just think Call Me By Your Name is too pretty and polished because it's in a view of a little boy, a teenage boy who gets to fall in love with a guy he just met, and it's supposed to be pretty. It's like very rural Italy or something, and it's just so, some way it's very fantasy type of feeling it gives me. I don't know, it just felt like that. But in Queer, it shows more like out of context images and more surrealistic symbolisms and all of that, but it feels more real to me because the characters and just the situation. And yeah, anyways, it's a very different type of feeling that it gave me comparing to Call Me By Your Name. And it's, Guadagnino has like his own thing, even though like he made such different movies, he has this own thing of like the look of the film and the feeling that the film gives. And I love how he shots like his inserts, like just no people and little props on the set and just those things. He does that beautifully. And Bones and All has a great insert shot. Like, yeah. Anyways, that's what I've been thinking of. A lot of Queer. Yeah, that really stuck with me in some ways. I wanted to watch it again. So someday we'll be watching it. I don't know how I talked this episode. Like, it's really hard for me to describe something, how I felt in words. So that's how I felt. Just I I don't know, his desperation, the character's desperation and loneliness, and some way of self-hatred, I guess. Yeah, it was sad, but it was very good to watch. Just something very real. Yes. What do I want to say more? I gotta think about it. Oh, the soundtrack, guys. Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross he always worked with them. Luca Guadagnino always worked with them, and they always make great fucking soundtracks on movies. I think my favorite is the Bones and All soundtrack. I really like that, but this one really stuck with me too, so recommend it. Great one. Yeah. I actually wrote things down to just talk unless I don't forget. But I wrote addiction, desperation, shame, self-hatred, surrealism, and that's it. Anyways, that movie was a good one. Yeah. There's a lot of debated reviews, I guess, because people weren't really expecting the whole trip sequence, the drugs and the whole thing, but I don't know, that was part of it, but that was not the whole movie. That was one big part of it. But yeah, being queer, I think, even though there's a lot of opened up conversations and medias and people out now about being queer and all that stuff, but still it's not the majority of living on this life in this society. So even all these representations and all these stuff, being queer is still a hard thing to be. And I think this movie really captured the feeling of, I don't know, this distinct feeling of being lonely because you're queer. Yeah. Because straight people would never know the feeling of being queer because you can't experience it. You can't experience the distinct loneliness and anxiousness on being queer. Yeah. Just getting into a new friend group, a new place to work, just a new society or a place to talk about your sexuality, your partner, your love life, your life is pretty anxious, every single time. And yeah, if you're not on the LGBTQIA plus community, you would never feel that distinct feeling of being anxious and lonely. That is why the community really gets together, and not only just being queer, but if you're a minority in some way, that's why people really bond together on those small things, because it's really hard for people to connect if you never experienced it. But when you get to connect with the people who's on your community, it is a very special feeling that they felt the things that you felt because they are queer. Yeah. So I think the movie really gets the feeling of being anxious and lonely, and in a more deeper way, a little bit self-hatred, and just that distinct feeling of being out of your body, and yeah, those things. How did I end up here? I didn't want it to get too deep and dark, but anyways, that's the movie. It was beautiful, by the way, just very beautiful, and a lot of a lot of sex scenes. Not a lot. There were like 2 or 3, but it was very uh the sound effect for guys, I can't really say those like specific words because last episode I said the slur and the what did I say? The D word for being lesbians too much. Not in a bad way. I didn't use it in a bad way, but I said it too much. And I know it's like a offensive word when a straight people say it. Anyways, I said that word too much and I got like partially blocked. So I can't. I have to be very careful about talking about those stuff. Anyways, that was my review for the movie Queer. Like all of the symbolisms, I'm not going to talk about it because you can just easily search that up. I just wanted to talk about the feelings that it gave me because that's like the most important thing. It doesn't matter if someone, like when I get to watch a movie with someone, it doesn't matter how you understand every single shot, just like those meanings of every single details, and I don't care. I want to know how you felt, how it meant to you, and I think that's like the most important thing about movies. People, like, I like details, I like homages, I like how the director used in his like reference for this and that. I like it because I'm a nerd for films and that's what I love, but not all of the people love and are interested in every single details. And even though I like those things, the most important thing about my love for films is feelings that it gives you, just how it means to you, because every single person have a different life, and when they get to see something, they view it all differently, and I think that's so beautiful. Not only films, paintings, like books, writings, poems, like every single thing, people view it differently. How beautiful is that, guys? Because every single person have every single different experiences in their life. That is so magical, I think. Am I high? No, I just think that's really beautiful. And yeah, that's been on my mind too. Just how many lives are this in this world? And every single person have their own story. Yeah, that is too much to think about. Yeah, that's it. That's it for more deep talks. I can't do more thinking today. I've been thinking a lot. Yeah. Let's go to media. Let's just quickly finish it, guys. Today's media. First of all, music. I wanted to recommend the Queer soundtrack. And I've been listening to Bob Dylan. Not because of the movie, I didn't watch it, but Visions of Joanna. And Bob Dylan and Joanna have like these songs that they wrote together about each other. And there's like a timeline of it, and I think that was pretty interesting, and I've been listening to those songs. And Lucy Decca's new song, Ankles, with a very cute music video, was really good. I like that. Yeah. For songs, I think that's it. And for a movie, I think I've recommended enough for today. Oh, guys, I watched like a beautiful movie. Should I talk about it today? It's gonna get long. You know what? Fuck it. I watched a movie called House of Tolerance, and it's by a director, Bertrand Bonello. He's a French director, and this fucking movie really just I can't describe it. This movie was something. It's about like what do you call that? It's a brothel. It's a brothel in Paris, and it's set in the 20th century. And the girls are living in a brothel, but it's not like a very bad housed brothel. not talking about any like sex work based things, but just like the setting of the brothel. It's very fancy, it's very rich. Only rich people come in, and they get to like dress, the girls get to dress in these just insanely fancy corset dresses, and they do their hair and they get to wash every day, and it's a very fancy setting brothel, but still it's sex work, and it's just deeply rooted, something just deeply rooted. I don't know, it's just so sad, guys. This movie's sad too. It's just really dark. It starts so beautifully, and then it just completely turns into a nightmare. And then you get to see these girls living in this brothel together, and just with only the girls, it's such a beautiful movie. But like when men come in, like the customers, it gets like into this completely dark, lonely, disgusting, because these men are disgusting that they're buying these girls. And anyways, it's just really fucking sad, and just the power dynamic of everything and these things going on, and just their empty eyes in these scenes of them being in the room with the guys, and just like everything about that movie was so dark and sad, but it was so beautiful. The movie was so beautiful. So that's my watch list. But anyways, the poster is absolutely beautiful, and the girl from The Portrait of a Burning Lady on Fire, The Portrait of a Lady on Fire, yeah, she's in it. I forgot her name. Adele Haenel, she's in it, and she's absolutely beautiful. And I don't really feel comfortable talking about these actors being beautiful and not, because like this movie and just the whole thing of it is just looks, looks, people talking about looks and all that thing. And I don't know, man. It's just, go watch it, guys. But it's really sad and dark, and yeah, it's sad. So, but I recommend it. It's like 2 hours, and a very beautiful movie though. House of Tolerance. And after recommending a really good one, I'm gonna recommend a really, really bad one. There's a movie called Splice, and it's a horror fantasy type of movie, and it's like an alien. There's two characters working in a science lab, and they get to make this alien. Oh my gosh, just I have so many things to talk about this. I've watched this when I was like 13, really young. I watched like few scenes in Facebook when I was on Facebook, and that really stuck with me because it was so disgusting in some way, that like this movie gives that icky feeling of when you get to watch something that's not really right. That's just so weird. It really stuck in you, and that movie was one of it. And I just wanted to know what the actual movie was like, the whole thing, after feeling that feeling. So just, I recently get to watch it again, and oh my god, it's worse than I thought. Like, there's this alien that's made with this another type of species, and this, spoiler alert, I'm just gonna talk about it because this movie is so weird. Even though I talk about it, you just have to watch it to feel the weird ickiness of this. Anyways, this girl puts her DNA to make this alien, so it's like part of her. It's her baby. And this girl and this boy is like, I think they're dating or engaged or something. Anyways, they're together, and they get to raise this alien baby, and this alien baby gets to grow up, and it's not like, it first looks like an alien, like a complete different species, and then it turns into looking like a human in a very weird sexual way. Like I don't know, it has like curves and like those stuff and boobs, and it has like everything in it. And then guess what? This alien seduces this guy. It's, I guess the alien is a female. Anyways, and they fuck. Guys, they fuck. Can you fucking believe it? This alien that you raised, it's your fucking baby. And not even this guy liked the alien at the first time. He hated it. He just wants it gone, and like they were doing it in a illegal way that they were not supposed to make this. And anyways, he tries to kill the alien like couple times, and it survives, and just it grows, and they get to move the alien into a ranch, a farm that the woman was raised in when she was young, and they get to raise this alien together, and this alien gets to turn into like a more woman looking way, and this guy gets to spend time alone with this alien, and they fuck. Not like just like I can't say this word, not like sexually harassing way, but like this alien seduces this guy, and they like start passionately fucking. That was so disgusting. That's like the part I watched on Facebook. That was the clip that was surrounding on Facebook. I was like, this is the clip. I didn't have any context of that clip, and I was just like, ew, and I moved it on. But that was the clip, and it's so icky. It's just so disgusting. And after that, in the middle of them fucking, the woman comes in and sees that, and she's like, okay, fuck you, I'm out. That is disgusting. And she goes into like her apartment, and that guy follows her, and he's like, that's like the funniest thing in the whole movie. This guy fucked an alien that you guys raised together, and this girl, obviously she's mad, and she's like, are you insane? Like, are you crazy? That's like our child and something. They like argue, but soon it's like a thing that never happened for her. Like, she just forgives him like that. And I'm so confused. Like, did I saw something different with you? He fucked your alien. He fucked your alien baby. And like, what the fuck is going on? And just that was like a whole thing. And then later, the alien like turns into something different. And guess what? That alien sexually assays the girl, the woman. So I guess the alien baby gets to fuck them both. Like, it's so weird. It's so weird, guys. And anyways, that's how it kind of ends. That was something new that I don't want it to really experience. Anyways, I just talked about so much beautiful movies, and then this. Like, it was an icky movie, and if you wanted to feel grossed out, go watch it. And it's pretty funny too, because it's so nonsense. Like, anyways, just like that sexualized alien was not my thing, and yeah, that was a lot. Wow, I talked a lot today, guys. Anyways, these things were in my mind. It's a movie episode. I'm talking about movies. That's my recommendation. I don't really recommend it, but that's what I watched. And thank you for listening. Started with like a David Lynch memorial thing, and it ended with a movie about fucking aliens. So anyways, that's this episode, guys. Thank you for watching episode, is it 26? I'm just gonna quickly check it. Episode 26. It was a bizarre episode, I guess. Yes, that's it. thank you for watching. And I'll be back with something more wholesome and real than this whole nonsense. It's been a quite confusing time for me this week, so I wanted to talk about my life and talk about more weird stuff. So that's it. Again, thank you for watching, guys. Stay safe, stay warm, stay happy, stay happy, enjoy your time, and thank you for watching. Bye.